I support her for that.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I was going to ask you exactly about that, Navya, that, there's a sense of what is loosely and lazily called star kids or filmy kids. The expectation probably by sort of paparazzi journalists was that you would inevitably also become an actor. You've chosen a very different line, as your mom just described. And actually, traditional businesses in India continue to be, in a sense, passed down to the son if there's a son. Typically, I'm not saying there aren't exceptions, but typically that's what happens, right? How did you, or why did you, or what made you want to come into this space of your family business? Did you ever consider flirting with cinema, or was it never of any interest to you?
I think not. I mean, I enjoy, dancing and things like that, but it was never something I took, seriously, that I would do this as a career path or choose this as, my career. And I was always more inclined towards, I think, business. And even growing up, when I talk about my father's side of the family, my dadi and my bua are both working women. I've seen them work from when I was very, very young. And the same thing that, mom talked about, they both also, were involved in the family business in some capacity, because they would talk about issues, and they would, my grandfather would take their opinion on it. And I think that was always a world that excited me a lot more. And obviously, I also am the fourth generation of, the Nandas to take over that. And I think I really wanted to carry that legacy forward as well, and really support my dad in everything that he's doing. Also, being a woman in the family to kind of take that forward was also something of great pride to me, and I wanted to do it definitely, having seen my dadi and my bua do it so well for so long. But no, I don't think acting or that was ever something that I would have done as a career for sure.
You did have a brief point where you thought
I thought
maybe, and
maybe,
then
yeah. But then I think after I went to college and the world just opened up for me, I realized that there's so much more that I wanted to do, and this was definitely not it.
And Shweta, what would you have felt had she wanted to? You're reminding us that she had a brief moment. If she had wanted to be an actor, would you have said, "Yeah, sure, go ahead"?
I would be apprehensive for both my children, son or daughter. So, there's always a sense of apprehension, but
Yeah,
at the
Because
end of the day, I just feel uh it's difficult. It's not an easy. You talk about privilege, and we come from a great amount of privilege, and we have, you talk about being under the microscope, and that we are, but never for a day do I forget, because I see my father every single day, and he's 79, he'll be 80 this year. And he works so hard for that privilege that we enjoy. And I can never forget that. So I know what goes behind everything you see here, everything. It comes from just one man waking up, and it's sheer willpower. Waking up every morning at 5 in the morning and starting his day and being at it, and try being on a set. It's not easy. So these are, I mean, it's a tough world, and you put a lot of effort into it. And things, you may have a movie that comes out and it doesn't do well. It's heartbreaking to deal with that. And then, then you have people saying, picking at every single thing you do, whether it's professional, personal, what have you. It's a very, very tough life. It's not an easy life. It's not an easy path to take. And it's a very public life. It's just, sort of, for Navya, it's trading a fishbowl for an aquarium, or for Agastya. So you need to know that before you get into something like this. So that is my apprehension as a mother. It's a protective instinct. But if this is something they want to do, sure. I mean, I would support them.
I mean, I don't, so.
So Navya, you clearly don't want to do that anymore, right?
No, definitely not.
Okay. I love this line that it would